Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Team New Breed on Havana CTF, and we're talking a little bit about opening routes and opening strategies to give your team a more successful start to the match. Most important parts of the game, in my opinion, is the first minute to minute and a half. This is where you're going to get a real feel of where the enemy is going to start to go, where they're setting up, and their aggression. You know, how far are they pushing up into your spawn on the initial parts of this game? Are they blindly running into laneways? Are they blindly throwing their nades, hoping to get some lucky hit markers and some tosses? You know, this can tell you a lot about your opponent. You know, being able to read them in the first minute and a half is going to give you a better insight onto how you need to control the rest of the pace, or the rest of the game's pace. Now, you're going to see a little bit of leapfrogging. You know, getting one kill, pushing up a little bit, grabbing another, pushing up a little bit. Always being aware of where your teammates are and how the respawns are working for you. Right there, getting a little bit of tag team action on myself, but I was able to tie them up, you know, get them focused off of our flag and our zone, and more focused on getting me out of that position. The well is definitely a power position on this map. It's a place that you need to at least be very cautious of, or be aware that you need to have somebody there positioned. You know, it can be used as a defensive and even an offensive position on both sides of that scale. Now, Midget King, you know, playing it kind of smart. He was looking to be in a position to grab that flag instead of, you know, looking for those spawn kills. He was at a bit of a range. He had two people down lane and was more looking to play it, you know, how any good objective player would have done, wait for that opportunity. Now, on the respawn, I noticed we got a lot of people up in our shit. You know, obviously we got to get them out as quick as possible, and Trig does a really good job of mopping up left side bar. I pick off the last two, and we got 4 down. This is our opportunity to push up into enemy spawn and grab those initial kills and grab a flag and go. Does that happen? No. Like any good strategy, you know, when push comes to shove, everything looks good on paper. It's how your team executes that plan that, you know, separates great teams from good teams. Now, I never ever claimed to be pro or anything like that. Everything's a learning experience, and I definitely don't play enough to categorize myself in any sort of top MLG seeding. But one thing I like to do with my videos and my channel is really give, you know, a learning experience. You know, what did I do in this match that I could have changed to really help my team out and play a better position and play a better player? Lots of things come to mind. Anytime you're watching a video, everybody's always quick to judge, quick to point out others' mistakes. I'll be the first to admit when things don't go the right way. But as a new team, well, maybe not a new team, but as an up-and-coming team, not really going for pro status, we don't play a lot, so we got to utilize the time that we get. And one way we do this is by team scrims. One big thing that I've been having a lot of trouble with lately is when we do get team scrims, they're usually little kids and they talk a lot of shit. Now, that aside, it happens, teams got to get by it, and just utilize the scrims to, you know, a learning tool for your team and everything like that as much as you can. Right here, another example of something that it really wasn't a smart idea. Maybe I was getting a little frustrated. Maybe I thought I could go all Rambo and Hulk that shit and take out the enemy spawn and grab flag and go. But this is Call of Duty Black Ops. This is not Modern Warfare 2 Lightweight Marathon UMP Pro. Okay? Gotta take it a lot slower. And I'm one person to really, you know, it's hard for me to not want to always go and grab that objective, grab that flag, and just book it. You know, my strategies for Modern Warfare 2 that worked out fairly well for me was to continuously push on the enemy flag as much as possible, and my team would create that element. They would create the maneuver to get in and back me up. I would always grab flag whether we were in position or not. And one thing that did was, you know, really made the enemies focus on more of a defensive role, and it took them out of their own element. You know, made them back up heavily into their spawn. In this game, I find that works against you. You want the enemy to not turtle, but in the same sense, you don't want them up in your area. You know, there's definitely a good middle ground that we have to achieve. Havana CTF is a very difficult game to master. There is some nasty spawn traps and some routes that are very hard to counter. You know, off the start, second round, flipping sides, my objective is to get behind the enemy as quick as possible and look at those initial routes. Right over here, I knew that I could get to this position before the enemy could. He threw the stun, leaving him wide open for no retaliation with his gun. I had a nice, easy, clear shot. A mistake on the enemy's half again is to initially just go for that revenge kill. Just keep going at him, even though, you know, I might have a much higher advantage. You know, I know that he's coming towards me. What can I do to position myself to avoid that kill and just continuously harass the spawn? That's what I'm doing over here. You know, I'm making I am playing Ring Around the Rosie again, but you know, I'm in the enemy spawn place. I don't know, in the spawn zone, and I'm annoying them, being the irritator and taking their focus off the objective, which was, you know, obviously on the way back to our flag, and moving it towards me. You know, changing the focus of the game and throwing them off their strategy. If you could do that, it's definitely going to give your team an advantage. Having that person always up in the enemy spawn, you know, tagging people off the initial routes and getting them just frustrated. It's a great tactic, and it works 90% of the time. One thing that can get you in a lot of trouble, though, is if you're way out of position and way out of any sort of area that you can help your team. Well, now you become a liability, and you're not going to be in any sort of counter position when your three teammates go down and they grab flag. So there's definitely some give and take. You got to know where you can stand and where you can be, and obviously you got to work as a team. One more thing about Havana CTF, you know, both sides of the map change for where you want to run flag. Now, Joe the Dentist did a really good rundown, and I'm going to give him a shout out here. And link will be on the video right now to go check out his breakdown of Havana CTF. And, you know, for any new players and even myself, you know, it's a good video to watch. You know, they do a really good job. They're an up-and-coming YouTube channel, and they deserve some more recognition because they put a lot of work into their videos. And kudos to them. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. You know, we're still winning. We're up by one flag. It's 2-1 due to that flag in the first half of the game. What else do we know about CTF? Well, what's the killer to your team that can, you know, devastate your winning ground? Turtling. Now, turtle is obviously an amphibian creature, but in the game of Call of Duty, turtling is all about throwing 3 or 4-man D on your flag and, you know, sitting in that hole waiting for the enemy. If you start to do that onto CTF, you know, you eventually will get ran over. It just does not work. You always need to be on the aggressive side of things, you know, at least push into mid-map and send the occasional guy in to grab flag. If you are in an opportune time to grab flag and go, why not? You know, it's all about points on the board. You never want to stop going for the objective. And newer teams, I've noticed, you know, watching videos and watching, you know, people's submissions to myself to check out their stuff, that's one big thing that I notice. You know, when they're playing CTF, they get one flag, and it's like, okay, we got the lead, let's sit here and watch our flag. And it doesn't work like that. And it's almost like the same strategy that a lot of people use in TDM. You know, let's go get one kill, and then we'll all stay put. It doesn't really work, because eventually, you can only use so many places to hide. They're going to find you, and they're going to cap a flag, and then you're going to be on the run, be on the chase, and it just doesn't work. So 58 seconds, 1 minute left. Our main objective is to just make sure that we hold on to this lead. You know, we got Trig watching for flag on his left there, and I'm watching his back, making sure nobody comes through back bar towards their flag. And we do have Midget, I believe, up over on right. My buddy Trig gets taken down. Now I'm the last hope over here. You know, what can I say? Not everything's perfect, and not every plan works out. It's all about learning, you know, trying to enjoy the game as much as possible and bring competition along with it. And we do end up tying. Tie is not a bad thing, but, you know, every team's looking for that W. hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary. I do apologize for the lack of videos lately. Busy. I just, like I've been shouting out on Twitter, I wish there was 4 more hours in a day. Speaking of Twitter, if you're looking to play with me either on the Xbox or PS3, Twitter is how you find me. Thanks again, I'm Holiday Doc, and I'm out of here.